What's going on, guys? Belair here. In today's video, we're going to do something a little different. We usually cover some of the top, most well-known players in the RLCS in these videos, but there's always players that we could learn more about, especially as some of these players are probably going to be making some of these international events that they are missing this time around. And one of those players is rehzzy, who currently is a part of the Jobless team alongside oaly and eekso. At the beginning of his relevancy, at least at some of these main events in the RLCS, rehzzy was a part of Hogan Mode, which was a team who certainly overcame the expectations that were put on them to make some pretty deep runs in the spring events from last season. And after that, rehzzy got a big opportunity. Really heads up defense there, by the way, to understand that there was going to be a block coming at him from behind, but ended up getting a big shot on Moist Esports. And as they were unable to make a major, TehQoz decided to move on. He is now part of Oxygen Esports, which we talked about in a video we put out just a couple days ago. And rehzzy found himself in a new role, one where without a master scorer like what they anticipate from TehQoz, the ball's in his hands a little bit more. And from what the stat sheet says about rehzzy, a real defensive presence, not somebody who a lot of the younger players who are known for their mechanics and speed typically are taking and making a lot of shots, but rehzzy, that is not the role that he has had over the course of this season. And sure, a piece of that is because of the teammates that he had, but nobody, even TehQoz, is not some vast black hole in which you can't get looks. I think rehzzy is somebody who has been put in positions to succeed in his young career, but somebody who does not take a lot of shots and really is heads up. And as soon as I say that, of course, caster curse, he gets demoed from behind. So 3 minutes left in this game, and we should probably talk about what this is and why we chose this. This is a very high pressure situation. Jobless still technically are in a position to qualify for LAN. This is an open qualifier 6 quarterfinals against Vitality, and Jobless need to win this entire event in order to still be able to potentially make it to the LAN, at least as I recall it now. Maybe they were already out at this point, but I don't think they were. So Game 7, Vitality, last season's world champions. They won games 5 and 6 here, and now we find ourselves towards the end of that game. And as I say that, I realize that this is not Game 7. This must be Game 4, in which rehzzy was really impressive as well on the stat sheet. So 2 minutes left. Now that we actually know what game we're watching, let's lock in and see what rehzzy's doing on the pitch here to secure this win in a big series. So a teammate just got demoed. rehzzy is just going to delay time, stall the ball, goes all the way back here for a big boost, playing defensive-minded here. Realizes that, who is that in the back? Zen isn't going to challenge up, so just takes a little touch to keep it to himself, wasting 2 seconds. And that is a dangerous situation that rehzzy is able to get Jobless out of, as Vitality are finally going to put one away. Really got trapped on their own defensive end there after a couple weird touches. Tie ball game. Let's see how it ends up shaking out. It's into the mid boost. oaly's going to chase. rehzzy's got to make a tough read there. And he got lucky. That was not a good position. He had almost no momentum when he swung around for that. So the fact that Vitality weren't able to put in another one was pretty fortunate, I would say. Going to go ceiling. Cut this off as the front man from the midfield. And oh my goodness, I can't believe he got back to that ball. There's no way that goes in, right? What a stall. Completely bought time. Even here, knows that his opponent is going to try and drive past to go for a 50. Just slows it down completely to a standstill and takes a pop into the air. Probably just looking to create something, get a pop out to one of his teammates middle. And rehzzy is setting up a strong wall, even there as they get past him. He doesn't make contact, but really making Vitality work to get past him as the front man in transition. which is slowing down any counterattack opportunities, which I'm sure his teammates are happy for. A lot of space here, going to take a touch up, realizes that he's beat, so he's just going to save his boost and come down. eekso tries to pop one there. rehzzy tries to go all the way forward, looks still staying aggressive. Even given the time, you'd think most people would turtle up. Wow. Oh my goodness, let's watch that one again. Unbelievable confidence here from rehzzy in a huge moment. Technically, season on the line. If they don't win this one, they could potentially go home. Gets offensive at first just in his positioning, and then just the delay to sneak it right over the top. As eekso goes for the bump, Alpha can't get up to it. Oh my goodness. What a clutch shot there from rehzzy. 3 seconds on the clock. Let's see what we're going to get here. Going to play it defensive, kill in the middle, and that one's probably just going to die right there. What a game from rehzzy to get another victory in what will end up being a win over Team Vitality in that quarterfinal matchup. All right, let's find another player who we're excited about for next season and hop on for another game. All right, here we go. Game 2. We are on board with TehQoz. We're staying in the European region. And actually, on the other side of the pitch is the player on the ball right now from Game 1, rehzzy. So this is a little bit of suhhh action up against the Jobless roster that we watched in that previous game. Now, suhhh it's been the Mikeboy and ThO duo for an incredibly long time. That's actually where TehQoz started this season off, the Spaniard, alongside ThO and Mikeboy. And then in between the splits, they decided to make a change. They split up that duo who have been together for an incredibly long time and picked up rehzzy45 as their new third, as ThO went over to APAC and joined the Gaming Gladiators, who are on their way to the London Major in a couple of weeks. So why TehQoz? I have caught quite a few series of his over the course of the 2 splits, and I've just been incredibly impressed by his ability to read the game. And also he can do some pretty nutty stuff offensively as well. So wanted to catch a little bit of TehQoz here, as this could certainly be a player, whether it is on this suhhh roster who continue to gel and improve together, or if he gets a shot on another big team, as we're starting to see some quality Spanish teams that are being built. The first one that I think of is Luna Galaxy, who are 2 parts Spanish. But TehQoz here going to get up and completely disrupt oaly's takeoff, is going to get that second touch there, bump his teammate accidentally on the way out. That might kill this offensive attack in the corner here. Very heads up to get over that eekso bump there, not going to set up an easy 2v3, and as this ball is going to float into the middle, TehQoz is going to come back, realize he has a little space here, and is just going to launch this one away from 2. It's going to get left nice and close by rehzzy and tries to kill that one middle to set up a play. A couple of shots at it, but nothing going to go in just yet. All right, setting up on defense, not going to rush it. They're going to hand that ball over to him, and he's going to get up and get this one central. Had to go pretty quick because of the pressure there, but if he could have taken an extra second, could have really laid that one on the hood of his shrieking teammate there. Little hot potato there with Mikeboy, and they set up a pretty dangerous opportunity out of what should have been nothing from the Jobless defense. And it seems like over the last minute or so, they have really had them pinned here. Let's see what Mikeboy sets up. Tries to line up a double, can't get it. TehQoz tries to get the powerful 50 through and pierce the goal line, but cannot do it quite yet. Not going to be able to get that one, so has to play some goal line. He's able to do so. Can rehzzy put this one down? Oh my goodness. Oh boy. All right, I know we did rehzzy in the first game, but we got to go check this one out, right? Where is he? 1, 2, keep it 3. Crossbar down. What a shot by rehzzy. All right, let's hop back over to TehQoz. That was an incredible shot by rehzzy. All right. So it seems like TehQoz can get left in defense, and that doesn't really scare him too much. confident there, and he's going to confidently take the 50 out. Tries to go upfield. I like that he's changing it up, trying to catch rehzzy snapping, or excuse me, eekso napping, but cannot do it. And as we transition out, what are they going to be able to set up here? Nothing doing. Tries to get the deflection and take that boost, but can't. What a carry by rehzzy, and wow. You thought that the double commit was going to cause some stress there, but no, that worked out just fine. This hasn't been the most, the game where TehQoz has a ton of opportunities to get out and do things mechanically, but I will say I've been impressed by his ability to force smart 50-50s, whether he has boost or not, especially when trying to break out of his own corner. That's seems to have a deep bag of ways to force situations that will end his team with the ball. That is an incredible lace down the other side, and thank goodness oaly could stretch to get to that, or that would have been an end-to-end shot. Ball's trapped in the corner. Mikeboy trying to create, beats one, but can't break down the defense enough. rehzzy's tracking here. TehQoz tries to split the difference between the man on the ball and off ball. Here is a transition play. TehQoz back. He's going to play off of pennies. Sitting pretty deep, has a lot of respect for rehzzy on the ball, and he just showed us why. Carries that one all the way out. Surprised that suhh is leaving this much space here. Waning seconds of this game, they really don't want to get trapped in their own corner. Oh my goodness. Don't want to get trapped in their own corner. Don't worry about that. They're going to break it out here. 450 by eekso, kind of accidental. oaly tries to get into the way. rehzzy's up. rehzzy gets absolutely dusted. And TehQoz is just going to slice one in between the defense. One more time here. Let's catch this from eekso point of view. Him here. Let's see how he's going to get beat on this one. Nice touch, and then just chooses wrong. TehQoz goes the other way. Love that he took that first touch instead of just forcing it. And with 5 seconds left, that might be the dagger. Oh boy. Well, a great game that we picked by accident of TehQoz, showing us how it's done. I believe they ended up losing this series to Jobless. As suhh went 1-3. They haven't really had the results to back up where they would like to be, but hey, maybe it's just one split here, and they can get revitalized as TehQoz continues to grow on this roster. So let's take one more pause. We're going to find a third player, and let's wrap up the video there. All right, let's wrap things up with another European player. Let's just stay in the region, why don't we? This is Toxiic point of view. Toxiic, who you may know previously from the top Cougars roster. He also played with 2.5 Men, which was rehzzy and Speed, if I remember correctly. And man, I'm just realizing how much we're kind of hearing the same names over and over again. suhh previously had Toxiic on their roster, and he had teamed with rehzzy, who is now on suhh. And that suhh roster, especially the duo of ThO and Mikeboy, they went through oaly, Hibs, Toxiic, and TehQoz. So they have really amassed quite a bit of young talent, or just I guess talent in general over the seasons. We're seeing Team Endpoint now as Toxiic's new home, alongside another longtime duo in Arju and Mittaen, who picked up Toxiic after moving off of a smokes partnership that just hadn't paid the dividends that they thought it would. There was a time there where smokes seemed like one of the next, not, up and coming is one thing. It's not like people thought he was Zen level or anything like that, but people were excited about smokes. I was excited about smokes. Made a video about him last season at some point, but now they have decided to pick up Toxiic and ended up making a playoff spot with this roster in this Open Qualifier 6. We're watching round 5, game 4, the closeout against TehQoz Esports, who is a roster of lesser-known talent, and they ended up taking BDS to game 7 in the quarterfinals, this Endpoint team, the day after the matchup that we're watching now, as BDS was en route to making it and winning the grand finals to win their back-to-back events of the season, as an incredible keep out by arju, and Toxiic almost on the respawn was able to keep one out. But we're tied up here as we hit the 3-minute mark. Toxiic was a great 1v1 player, was the first time I had seen him. I actually watched him beat Scrubkilla way back in the day, and I was like, oh, this guy's good. Could be an up-and-coming talent. And here we are. You know, I'm not a prophet. I'm just a man, just like you. But do I see all the talent before it happens? 100%. Toxiic, laser, top of the box, 2-1. 2.5 minutes left. So I don't really know Dead too well, or Mala. I do know Charlie B, who's been on a couple of rosters, the names of which are escaping me now, but I've certainly seen him around. This TehQoz Esports, surprising that they make a main event over some of the other teams that we see in Europe, and even more surprising that they made it all the way to round 5. Arju gets a kill in the back corner. Arju, who actually, if I recall correctly, retired for a split, or maybe 2, but I think just a split, and then came back to rejoin Mittaen here. Mittaen gonna easily carry that one out. And Endpoint seem happy to just pop this one to the corner. They're not too threatened by this. They're just waiting for their opportunity to really break out. Just keep it out of harm's way, and there it is. Eventually, the overextend is going to push TehQoz all the way back, but here comes Dead yet again. Tries to get the flip reset. Too heavy on the reset, though. And Toxiic lands calmly down to get that one. He's going to pop this skyward as well. Seems to be Endpoint's strategy here. Don't worry about it. We're good. Just pop the ball up, and eventually we're going to break out as the other team overextends. And a dead ball demo like that is going to help them break out quite a bit as well. Tries to bait out the flick there by Dead. Dead does not bite first time around. Does a second time, gets it over Toxiic. And Toxiic has a free ball, free double here. Almost puts it away, but who is that on the read? It must have been Charlie B. The defense is starting to fall apart here for TehQoz. Toxiic is going to take his time, beat one, tries to 50 the second. Hanging back while going to go steal boost in the corner that isn't there. Rotates all the way back, and TehQoz just seem out of sorts right now. Try to punt that one down. Arju is waiting, and Toxiic's waiting here. Backside of the double commit is not going to force this one at all. Wow, that was a great defensive read to keep them up in the waning seconds of this game. What a read by Toxiic. Last attempt here. What can TehQoz do? Try and pop it. Mittaen is going to crunch it, and that is a win. Toxiic, 4 saves, including that critical one to win the game there. 1 goal, 1 assist, 656 points. Very, very impressive. I'm glad that we took this opportunity to see some of the young talent, the newer talent that is floating around Europe. Seems like every season there's at least a couple people who get called up to these rosters to really get a chance. We've seen tremendous results from players like Drali over the course of this season, just as an example. So excited to see if one of these players can rise to the occasion over the course of next season. Time will tell. Which one of these players has you most excited? Who would you build a roster around out of the 3 that we watched? Guys, thank you so much for taking the time. And as always, take it easy.